Students, welcome to the session 6. Students, in our previous session, we have explained about HTML. HTML. What is HTML? It is a hypertext markup language, and you have learned many of the tags related to HTML. So what is XML now? So what is XML? Again, it is a type of a language. It is called an extended markup language. It is an extended markup language. So what is HTML? Is hypertext markup language, again is a language, and XML is again a language. It is full form is extended markup language. If I say extended, so it is a next version of XML. So it's going to provide different features apart from HTML. So this XML, it provides a structured information, or it provides structured content. What is the meaning of the word structured? Means here all the informations with all the informations or contents or which can be structured or arranged in a definite order, so in a definite fashion. So that is the meaning of XML. Now let us look into the difference between what is HTML and XML, so that you know the difference between, so you can understand better. Now, what is the difference between XML language and HTML language? Let us write one by one. And already have written first point. It is extended markup language. It is extended markup language. This is hypertext markup language. Second point is it focus on transfer of data or nothing but exchange of data or information, exchange of data. And here this HTML, this focus is only the presentation. This is presentation data. It focuses on presentation. What do you mean presentation? See here, the meaning of presentation is however you want to look the data, it will be displayed as it is. That is the meaning of presentation. But what is XML? This feature is an important feature of this XML is that it focuses on transfer of data and exchange of data within a particular website. So this can be developed like this. This is second feature. Next one is called, it is more structured. Already have told you, structured is nothing but where it has some protocols. It is less structured as compared to XML. More structured means it provides a very good format of data so that it can be accessed and used very easily. So that is the meaning of more structured in nature. Next one is it is more flexible. It is more flexible and it is less flexible. Here, for example, you take any of the tags here, we are using exactly as it is. But in this example, we have, with the help of this feature of XML, it can be modified modified as per our requirement, as per the user's requirement. So this is more flexible, and this is important is case sensitive. This is case sensitive and it is not case sensitive. So if you what is the meaning of case sensitive? In you might have come across some example in HTML. In HTML tags or program what you have learned in first year, you can make use of either uppercase or lowercase characters, but it is not like that in XML because it is a case sensitive language. Now there is a difference between uppercase and lowercase characters. Next one is it is not predefined. Not predefined, and here is all are predefined tags. Predefined tags. See, by looking at the last point we can make out how flexible it is. Here all the tags what we are using will be predefined, we are using exactly as it is, and here in under XML we have an option, or a user, a programmer have an option for making some slight changes, because there is no predefined tags here, there is no there is no predefined commands here. So by looking at the differences, so we can make out that this XML has more features as compared to HTML language. Students, next we move on to another concept, that is DHTML. It stands for dynamic HTML. So you might have come across some example like dynamic, and opposite dynamic is static. So here dynamic HTML is nothing but this HTML dynamic means it is changing. The meaning of the word dynamic is changing, quite opposite to another is called static. So there are, you might have come across some maybe in your experience you might have come across some examples, some words like static website and dynamic website. What do you mean by static website? If you talk about static website, here the once website has been developed or created, that we have to use it exactly as it is without any modifications, and here the clients or the user cannot modify any data, cannot add anything to it, and cannot take out any of the information unless information from the website. So under dynamic HTML or under dynamic website, there are some options so that it will be much more, it has given much more freedom to the clients or the user. So here the user can add whenever any new information to be added, he can add it. He can add this to the website, and whenever he wanted to take out unwanted information that can be removed within this dynamic HTML. So again it is nothing but a dynamic HTML is a language. Now let us see the features of dynamic HTML. This dynamic HTML, it is a combination of HTML, previous version of HTML language, along with that some internet options, So what is the meaning of this? So dynamic HTML is nothing but a language. So it is, they have along with the HTML, it has another added features through internet option. That is the meaning of, that is the one difference. Next one is, this is also developed with the help of web developing technology. Web developing technology. So here these two features are added here. So it is again nothing but combination of HTML as well as internet option and web developing technology. So all these together gives extra feature HTML. So we call it as dynamic HTML. And what is the meaning of dynamic HTML? As I told you already, the general meaning is keeps changing. So what is keeps changing? Any website which has been developed with the help of or with DHTML or HTML, here these websites, the contents of websites is changing or by view it can be changed. It depends on the geographical location of the user, and the time of the view, and again the profile of reader. So dear students, what is the meaning of this dynamic website here or dynamic HTML? See, any website which has been developed with the help of DHTML, those type of websites, within the website the contents which can be changed, or what is the meaning of changing the contents by view? Suppose, and this view depends on the following 3 points here. Again, geographical location of the user. See, suppose one of the user, maybe here he will be viewing the website, he will be working with the website at particular location, and for his view is different, and some other customer, maybe another user, he may view the content of the website, visit the website at some other different location, and for both of them, views of the website will be different. So I mean, it keeps changing. That is the meaning of dynamic. So that is the meaning of dynamic website or DHTML. And apart from that, exact time. Suppose if I look at, for example, if I now at this time, if I visit any of the website, the content, maybe if I look at the content or maybe the design, the background color, it keeps changing. Ma'am, if I look at if I visit the same website, maybe after 10 minutes, it may be changed again. So that is the meaning of dynamic website, or that is the feature of DHTML. Next one is profile of the reader. Again, this also, there are nowadays you can see that you might have come across some example through internet. Say, suppose if in the internet, if you click on any of the advertisement by mistake or intentionally, and you are keep on getting the same advertisement, maybe for few more days. See, that is because of within the server or within their application, your profile will be read, or it will be recognized by some of the administration people, and they will keep on posting some information, maybe email or picture, whatever is to you. So that is nothing but that is because of, that is the meaning of profile of the reader. So by considering these 3 points, it is, so with the help of these 3 points, these contents or images, or it can be keeps changing. So this is about DHTML. And here DHTML, what are the features of DHTML? DHTML the features of DHTML. First one is, it is an object oriented view of web page Second, cascading styles or layering of content. Next one is programming that address all the elements of the page. Next one is called dynamic fonts. Now let us look into this one by one, students. Here, these type of websites are a website developed with the help of DHTML. It has the following features. What is the meaning of that? If you look into that, you take a simple example, any website with a following features. See, suppose you take example here. I am going to write here as GSIP as a heading. Under that we have course. I say commerce, science. Under this we have EBACS, EBAS, and here PCMB, PCMC. Just imagine that. Just suppose if you have a website like this. In this website here, if you look at the website, you may find heading like this. Under this we have a subheading. Under this we have two tabs here, commerce and science. Under this we have number and the combinations available under these sections. In this one, if I talk about what is the object oriented view, what is the meaning of that? Here, whenever this one heading, this is heading of the website or within the website, it is one object. It is object 1, and this is object 2. This is object 2, and these are all considered as different objects. Objects 3, like this. So here, whenever we are developing a website, so we are going to view, our website can be viewed in an object oriented view. The meaning is that this is we are treating as one object, second object, next object. These are all different objects. So this is the meaning of an object oriented view. So what is the advantage of this? Here, this any changes has to be done for one object. It can be done with the help of programming, so without disturbing the coding or programming for other objects. So this is nothing but object oriented view of your web page. Next one is called cascading styles or layering of content. What is the meaning of layering of a content? Suppose if you have a one website here, this is a website. This is normally we say, generally we talk about this on one layer. Suppose if you have a background of this website. Suppose I want to go for a background with different color. See, that is one more layer. So this is the meaning of, what is the meaning of layering of contents, layering of content. So suppose if you have at the same time, if I want to have, say this is this course, under this, for this I want to have a different background, that can be done. So here background is one layer, and on top, then over it we have courses. This is object is placed over it. So here all the contents or the informations are placing one over the other. That is called as layering concept. So this is, it also provides a cascading of styles or layering of content. Next, programming address all, programming which is going to address all the elements of the website. So anything on the website, for example, are called elements of website. For example, this is the one heading is a website. Your image, if you want to have an image, it is one of the element. Your headings, any source of information on the internet, maybe within the website, are termed as elements. So these elements are addressed separately. That is again advantage of object oriented view here. So this is separate program or separate code for this, separate code for this, separate code for this. So this is nothing but your, and this is support. The feature is that it's going to support programming for all the elements on the website or within the particular website. Next one is called dynamic fonts. What is the meaning of dynamic fonts? Generally, how many of you, I don't know how many of you experienced it, even have experienced this. See, whenever I open any of the website, so generally these websites have been developed with particular fonts. So any of the website which has been developed with the particular fonts, and when you view the website, when you open any of the website, if that particular font is not available in your system, or generally we say in client system. Normally when we say that, see, all website, just I had told you in the beginning, these website will be stored in the server, stored at the server level, and all the clients or all the user are accessing these websites through web browser, through web client, isn't it? So these web client, what is the meaning? And here, if you open the sum of the website, automatically what happens, the fonts within the website is changed or is going to change. It depends on the web browser. So what is the meaning of dynamic fonts? Suppose some of the fonts used in the website, if it is not available within the client system or within the client level, so it is going to manage it. So it is going to support, or it is going to support the fonts which are not available within the or in the client system. So this is nothing but your dynamic font. So this is nothing but, this is about the DHTML, dynamic hypertext markup language. Now students, let us go to next concept, that is web scripting. Web scripting. Next we move on to another concept, that is web scripting. That is web scripting. So what is web scripting? This is nothing but a process of creating and embedding scripts, embedding scripts in the web page, is known as web scripting. Generally, scripting is nothing but programming. Normally we say web programming. What is the meaning of this? Scripting is nothing but process of creating and embedding scripts within web page. Normally, generally, the meaning of embedding is, it is nothing but adding something to it. If you look at the example, like in a computer, when you work with the computer, there is also a feature called CALC, calculator. When you type CALC at the at the startup, you are going to get the calculator. So you are able to work with the calculator. Then you immediately closing it. So here that CALC, a calculator, is one program which is embedded in your computer system, nothing but in your operating system, isn't it? So that is the meaning of the word embedded, or embedding is nothing but it is additional features or additional program, a small programs which is available along with the operating system of your computer. So this is nothing but your embedding system. So similarly, what is embedding web scripting? Here these are nothing but a programs. The programs, with the help of this, some other small programs just like calculator, just have to similarly so many features or so many small applications which can be loaded or programmed within the website. That is nothing but web scripting. And here under web scripting there are types of web scripting. There are two types of web scripting. There are two types of web scripting. They are, first one is called client side scripting. Second one is called server side scripting. So here, and for example, for client side scripting is nothing but to get data from the user, or online games and customizing the display of web page. Now students, look into that. Here there are two types of web scripting here. One is client side web scripting. Here now you know at this moment you know the difference between client as well as server. Server is a place, or server is a system wherever all these resources are stored or available. So client, who are called the clients? Clients are nothing but the user. I mean here in this example, web browser is a client. The user will access the web server detailed information through web browser. There is a web client. So here client side scripting. What is the meaning of client side scripting? Here the scripting can be written, or it is a small program. So it is going to work. It will be working at the client level. If I say client level, at the web browser level, where it doesn't have any impact or effect on the server. So here all the activities are restricted or will be executed within at the client level. So that is the meaning of client. For example, to get data from the user. See, for example, you are going to, if you look at some example of some forms, isn't it? If you look at the forms, maybe in any of the website, maybe some application form, you are going to apply online for any of the job application. If you look into that, you are going to enter some details. They may going to ask you, or there are some fields where you may have to enter first name, second name, date of birth, so many information. All these are data you are getting or entering in the form of forms, that is at the client level. So as that is, it goes to, you are entering at the client level. Next, you might be familiar with the games. This is also an example for client side scripting. Here, online games, whenever you open your website, when you start playing games, so you are directly the particular game or particular application, it will be sent, all the instructions sent to the client, so it will be executed at the client level. It may not have any impact or effect on the server side application. So that is games. And customize the display of the page. Suppose just we are talking about dynamic HTML. So here all the information, suppose here I want to view that with a different color. So when you change the color of the element on the element of the website, that doesn't have any effect on the server. So here all the activities or happens at the client level, at the web browser level, that is client side scripting. Now if you look into that, server side scripting, and here as quite opposite to it, at here all the activities or executable takes place at the server level through client or web browser. For example for server side script, that is your password protection. Next your form processing, and dynamically changing web content. These are all these three are the example for server side scripting. Means here what is the meaning of that? Say whenever you are going to log in, you might be knowing what is the login ID and password, isn't it? So if you want to get into any of the website or any of the particular website, so it will ask you for your registered login ID and password, isn't it? So that where your password will be stored, and as soon as you enter username and password, as you click on login, so directly the password, it will be stored under or at the server level. So whatever you have entered through web browser, it will be compared or checked at the server level, so and it validated. So if suppose if there is a mistake, then it's going to reject it. So that is your password. That is an example for your server side scripting. And similarly form processing, just now I had told you, here whenever I want to apply for any application, or when I want to register new email ID, I want to create new email ID. In that case, it is going to ask you for some information like first name, second name, and other data, date of birth, data, place, so many information. So as soon as you enter all the fields given in the form, you are going to click on a submit button, isn't it? So as well as you submit button, so all the information will be executed will be stored under server level, at the server level. So this is example is form processing. Next one, dynamically changing content. For example, as I told you a few minutes back, when you are talking about DHTML, dynamic website means the contents are changing, isn't it? So here users have all the rights to change the contents as well as the information under the limitation. So those changing of the contents or adding information, all this can be done. It will be working under server level. So these three are the few these are the three examples under server side scripting. Okay, dear students, let me conclude this session at this stage, and let me summarize what you have learned in this session. So here I have started with what is web hosting, the definition of web hosting and types of web hosting. There I had explained about free web hosting, sharing, co-location, as well as one is free web hosting. And next I have told you about web 2.0, that is again a website with additional feature, and it encourages or provides interactive sessions through web browser. Next, we have learned the difference between XML and HTML. XML is extended markup language. It has additional features, when compared to HTML. And next one is DHTML, dynamic HTML. It is a language where I told you the difference between static as well as dynamic. So static means intact, there is no change. Here all the content of the website remain same, only users can view the information and content of it. And with in the quite opposite to dynamic, here in dynamic websites with the help of through dynamic HTML, so these websites contents can be changed or removed or can be added under certain limitations. So that then at last I had told you about again under HTML we have discussed about the features of HTML. Object oriented view means all the elements of a website we are treating it, or we are scripting with the help of we are scripting or viewing as an object. And it has many features like cascading, means layering of contents, and again dynamic fonts. Suppose what is the example I told you, and suppose any of the fonts used in the website is not available at the client side, so this web client, the browser, is going to manage or is going to provide the same same fonts. So that is dynamic fonts. Apart from that, at last I had told you we have discussed about web scripting. Web scripting is nothing but a programming, and here it provides a feature of embedding applications, or embedding is nothing but adding. So or add on some additional software or information will be available within your website. So that can be done with the help of web scripting. There are two levels of activities. One is server side scripting and client side scripting. So here server level, client side activity at the client level, means nothing but the web browser level. It doesn't have any impact on server applications. And the server level side scripting, here all activities will take by the server level. So for very good example is your password. Oh students, hope you have learned or understood few terms with respect to web hosting. If you have any doubts at any point in time, you are most welcome. You can text me, you can contact me at any point of time. Thank you very much.